Bonjour, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Prince Will, and today I'm going to talk about the Passe Composite. Do not forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel, leave your comments on the comment section, and equally to share this video. So, Passe Composite, just as the name implies, passe and composé, which means it's combination of two things, which is the auxiliary verb avoir in this case and the past participle. So here we have avoir and the past participle used to convey the message. Here, this tense corresponds to the simple past tense or present perfect tense in English. For instance, if I want to say I have eaten or I have spoken, I have written, and the rest of them, this is the tense that will help us say all of that. For instance, j'ai parlé means I spoke or I've spoken. Tu as mangé means you have eaten or you ate. Il a, elle a fait, she has done or she did. Nous avons fini, we have finished or we finished. Okay, the last one here, vous avez vu, you saw or you have seen. All right, and then ils ont vu, ils ont compris, they have understood or they understood. So this is the tense that helps us combine the simple present tense form of the verb avoir and the past participle to convey a message. So j'ai parlé, I've spoken. Tu as parlé, you have spoken. If I say elle a parlé, she has spoken. Nous avons mangé, we have eaten. Nous avons fait, we have done. Nous avons fini, we have finished. Right? Vous avez vu, like vous avez vu, vous avez is you have seen. Right? So there are some verbs that are easy in the passé composé and some the past participle is a little bit hard. So for the ER verbs, that's the regular verbs we have in French, parler with ER is an infinitive, which is to speak. Manger here means to eat. But when I say parler without the R on top of it, it's referring to the verb in its past participle, which is spoken. And then manger here means eaten in the past participle. While this is to eat, this is eaten. While this is to speak, this is spoken. All right, for the second group of verbs, now not every verb that ends with ir is of the second group, but for the second group of verbs we have finir, to finish, choisir, to choose, and then the past participles of these verbs are fini, which is finished, and choisi, which is chosen. So what happens here? You just need to remove the R of the verbs of the second group for you to get their past participle. And for the third group, here is where we have a number of verbs which are irregular. So to verb to see, voir, the past participle becomes vu. For the verb recevoir, the past participle becomes reçu. For the verb prendre, the past participle becomes pris. For the verb comprendre, the past participle becomes compris. For the verb apprendre, the past participle becomes compris. For the verb lire, the past participle is lu. For the verb rire, the past participle is ri. For the verb faire, the past participle is fait. For the verb vendu, the past participle is vendre, the past participle is vendu. For the verb rendre, the past participle is rendu. For the verb attendre, the past participle is attendu. For the verb peindre, the past participle is peint. So, for the verb atteindre, the past participle is atteint, etc. So, for all these verbs, if I want to use them, I should be just interested in their past participles as I use the verb avoir as my auxiliary. So, going back through the list, we have j'ai vu, I saw. Nous avons vu, we saw. Vous avez vu, you saw. Nous avons reçu, we have received. J'ai reçu, I have received. I'm saying all this from my head, alright? J'ai pris, I've taken, right? J'ai compris, I've understood. J'ai appris, I've learned. Nous avons appris, we have learned. Now, if you don't know how to conjugate the verb avoir, kindly refer to the former videos where I taught how to conjugate the verb avoir. Alright, going to the next list, we have other auxiliaries used in passé composé, which is the verb être. The verb être is the verb to be, right? So there are a collection of verbs that can only be used with the verb être in the passé composé, and these verbs are movement verbs and what we call the pronominal verbs, the reflexive verbs in French.